Hello people! On this little video podcast, I wanted to talk about the No Kings rally that took place last Saturday, and honestly more so about the conversations surrounding it regarding its productivity and the fact that a lot of people are calling it out for being performative. I feel like this is a very important topic to discuss because it will eventually lead to identifying and condemning more hypocrisies of the Democratic Party, which is something that we desperately need right now if we want to progress in any way. One of the main criticisms that the No Kings rally has faced is the fact that its sole focus is Trump and his administration rather than the system that even allows him to be in power in the first place and do what he does. The other view is that by focusing on Trump and what he has done since he's been in office minimizes the same violence and atrocities committed by other presidents, but just because it's hitting closer to home now, more white people care. Like, ICE is not a new thing. Deportation is not a new thing. Ripping families apart is not a new thing. Locking kids in cages is not a new thing. These are things that presidents like Obama and Biden have done, and things that Harris promised to do and expand if she was voted into power. But because they wore blue on their sleeve, liberals didn't care. The most amplified period in the history of the genocide against Palestinians administered by Biden and Harris had the whole world crying for Palestinian children. Mass protests and encampments, we were witnessing history. We demanded for a ceasefire, of course, but first and foremost, we demanded that people pay attention and understand that they are not the exception. If you allow what is happening in Palestine right now, then who's to say that it won't happen to you and your children? The media wants to desensitize us, one dehumanizing title at a time, so that when it creeps onto our homelands, we won't have such a visceral reaction. I mean, we watch Palestinian children cry for their parents, and we watch Palestinian parents cry for their homelands. And now we are watching the same thing happen to our Latinx brothers and sisters. Families ripped apart, shutting down food stamps to limit access to food. These are things that we saw happen in Palestine, just in a different form. But the people who weren't paying attention then think that all of this started with Trump. Just like people think that everything that's happening with Palestine started on October 7th. Because y'all weren't paying attention. It's the lack of intersectionality with the No Kings rally that makes it performative. Like, of course, we say, fuck ICE, but then you also have to be able to say fuck the IOF. My question is, where were all of you when Palestine was burning the most? Is it because it happened on the other side of the world that you don't care, or is it because it was caused and supported by your party's people? A lot, if not most of these people attending the No Kings rally did not show up for Palestine. I'm not even saying that just statistically, but also personally, because I personally know a lot of people that have attended these No Kings rallies, but showed no interest in showing up for Palestine. And just looking at the No Kings rally, you can tell that those people didn't show up for Palestine because Palestine is barely mentioned in the march. Support for Iran was basically non-existent, which is weird since I thought it was supposed to be focusing on a no-war sentiment. And while there have been many critics of the No Kings rally, there are also a lot of people showing up for these rallies. But these No Kings attenders, I don't think they know what they're there for. Like, yes, there's a lot of you, but why are you guys showing up like every couple of months? There was a No Kings rally last June, then October, and now March. And it's not that you guys don't have enough people to show up all the time, because you clearly do. But then why are you guys taking breaks of like 5 months at a time? And I will keep coming back to Palestine because it's a perfect example of how protests are supposed to be done. I mean, at the height and time of its genocide, there were protests every single day. Sometimes even multiple a day. But these No Kings attenders, because I won't even say protesters, are showing up when it's convenient, on a weekend, every 5 months. If you are that angry and fed up, show up every single day. This is one of the reasons that the No Kings rally has been labeled a parade by many instead of a protest, because there isn't a clear thing that they are protesting for or against that's substantial, and also because they're walking hand in hand with the police. I mean, seriously, for 2 long years of genocide under Biden and Harris, the whole world, not even just the US, flamed up in protests for Palestine. And the police tried desperately to shut it down when they deemed it unsafe through even more violence, like beating up protesters, tear gassing them, unlawfully arresting them en masse. But that is what protesting is. It's going against the status quo and the ruling class. But when you walk hand in hand with the force that's meant to protect the ruling class, who are you opposing? Because it's clearly not them. So those are my thoughts on the No Kings rally. If you want to read similar content like this from me, check out my website, lovelenina.me, because that is all I have for you today. I just wanted to air out my feelings about the rally, also because I know a lot of people that have attended them but did not show up for Palestine, and so I really wanted to share my opinion on it. And it also felt actually really heartwarming seeing on my feeds more and more people calling out the No Kings rally. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I hope to see you on the next one.